Okay, guys. I just want to talk about giving up, and just an important thing to remember if you're thinking about giving up. I don't really want this to be one of those videos where I'm sort of motivating you not to give up, because I think that kind of stuff is it's a bit stupid. Because sometimes you do need to give up in life. You know, I actually think it's a good thing to do when necessary. But what I want to just sort of advertise in this video is you want to give up for the right reasons. And a lot of the time people give up for the wrong reasons. It's hard to give up for the right reasons. Very few people actually do give up for the right reasons. But it's very easy to just to give up for the wrong reasons. And I've been thinking this a lot myself recently, because I've been on this massive self-improvement journey. And, you know, things are going really well, you know. I'm dressing better, going to the gym, putting on muscle, all these things. And I'm doing a lot of this in an aim to improve my dating life. And yet, I find myself getting quite depressed about it, because I don't actually see my dating life improving very much. And I'm very tempted just to throw my toys out the pram and just be like, oh, fuck this then. You know, I mean, last night I had quite a restless night, and all this stuff was just going around in my head, and I was like, you know, what's the point? My dating life's the same, it always has been. And it just reminded me of when I was learning to drive. And learning to drive for me was extremely difficult. It took me a very long time. I took about 6 times before I passed my exam. And if you've got my kind of mentality, maybe you can rate this like, if you haven't taken that many times to pass it, which few people do, just imagine being in that position where you've failed 5 times. You know, everyone you know has passed on their 5th time. You're in like uncharted territory. You know, you might be it might be reasonable to imagine you might think how I thought. You know, you might go down this sort of toxic path of thinking, well, it's just impossible for me to pass then. Your brain just starts thinking there's no way it's going to happen. And obviously it did, you know, and then life goes back to normal. But I sort of, there's something about the, it's not exactly a desire to give up, but just the feeling that it is impossible. There's no chance I'm ever going to succeed in this. It's the same feeling that I got, that just no matter what I do, I'm just not going to pass this driving test. Same feeling I'm getting now with dating. I feel like no matter what I do, I'm just never going to pass. I think, to be honest, it comes from school to a large extent. I think I was always, you know, I was quite a good student, but I didn't necessarily work horrendously hard. You know, I found school quite easy, and so I guess I kind of learnt when things have been really difficult for me in the real world. You know, stuff that's like, as you get older and other things present themselves to you that aren't school. You know, because I haven't really been taught to deal with difficult stuff in the same way. I think when I do hit a roadblock in my life, I've been very tempted to give up, like with driving. Driving is a good example of that. That's just a guess, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I think this sort of feeling is quite common anyway, that I'm describing. But this, I know the sort of brain pattern I'm in, that I just know that it's just, although it feels completely pointless, the sort of dating journey and everything, like, I just know the wrong thing to do is to give up. That's certainly not the right thing to do, because it wasn't the right thing. It's the exact same sort of feeling in my head that I had when I was learning to drive, and you know, I know I will get past it at some point. doesn't mean it's going to be an easy road. It was extremely difficult for me to learn to drive. But, you know, again, it's just a case of plugging away at it. And I know it sounds very sort of negative, sort of, you know, everyone always says that, but what choice do you have at the end of the day, you know? So that's kind of the line I'm taking, you know, keep on doing the things I'm doing. Yes, have an open-mindedness to other ways to improve yourself, but just don't throw the toys out the pram, basically. You never do that, never do that. It's just not a good enough reason to quit. Now, there are times in life where it is good to quit, but this kind of feeling that I have now is not a good reason to quit, if that makes sense. So, yeah, and the other thing is, you know, the funny thing with driving is you kind of think your life's going to be amazing after you pass. You pass, it's fantastic for, you know, a week, and then you just go back to the same old life, you know. So that's the other thing to kind of remember, which is kind of negative, but you want, if you look at it in the proper way, it's kind of positive as well, because that is kind of stoic way of seeing it, like, well, I'm whatever, man, you know, this is kind of you know, this is what life's all about, right? Hitting these roadblocks and trying to fight your way through it, and you know, that'll be great when I sort this out and I've got a good dating life and stuff, but ultimately, you know, then I won't give a shit about it, and there'll just be something else to worry about. So, you know, almost enjoy it while it's here and try and take as much of it as you can. That's the proper way to look at it. I know it sounds very, you know, this kind of advice sounds very boring and you know, everyone always says this bullshit, but I know I'm the person going through the pain, and this is still the conclusion I've arrived at. That's how sure I am that this is the right thing to do. So, I mean, I'm not really telling you exact specifics of what to do if you feel like me. I'll talk about some videos later, what my protocol is, if you will, for improving my dating life. But that's just I think the thing you have to start with, and it's the really killer bullet in your arsenal for dealing with this problem, is just understand that, you know, it doesn't mean very much if you're feeling really down and you feel like everything you do is not giving you the progress you want. That doesn't really mean anything, you know, because you can feel like that and it's just not true. So just hang in there, basically.